Well, hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Ryan Nordahl here, Epic Whitetail Habitat LLC. As you can see, I'm on my home property here this morning. It's Sunday morning, the 28th of April, and we're going to get some work done here. It's early, it's before 7 o'clock yet, and we're going to continue on doing some of our gray dogwood cuttings, some of our black willow cuttings, and we're going to pull out some red cedar that's along our driveway. There's no use for it there, so we're going to strategically place it. We're going to transplant those. We're going to pull them out of the ground, and we're going to put them in some little pockets up here in our pasture. So this area up in here is what we're working on. This is going to be a new food plot out in this flat out here. We're screening off with willow and gray dogwood. We're probably even going to get some miscanthus, if not switchgrass, down along this lower edge. In this corner of the fence right here, we're going to have a blind, and we're going to want to hide that into some miscanthus. I'll probably pick some up from a good friend of mine over at Advanced Habitat Solutions in the coming weeks, because we want this all screened off. This food plot's going to extend over here to just above our driveway. You can see where my driveway goes up here. And I've got a stand that's in that oak tree right there. We're going to access up our driveway right from the house, right up that bank and right into that stand. That food plot's going to extend all the way along this side hill, come down through Bottleneck. That's why we're going to have a blind here in the corner, and then in this flat down in here. A lot of deer come. There's a big hardwoods on the other side of the neighbor's field over here. They come down our fence line, in through here, up above here, and then they come down and into here, and they transition back over down that bank on the other side of my oak tree and up to that hardwood ridge over there, or out in the CRP. So we're going to capitalize on this movement. So simply what I'm going to be doing here today is I've got some gray dogwood here. We're going to be cutting it off, taking these cuttings and getting them up on the hill here, creating some soft edge, or just creating some edge along how this food plot is going to go, doing the outline of the food plot on the north side of it, and then creating a visual screen along our north line fence as well, just to give these deer a little bit of security up on the north side. On the south side here, it's going to be grasses, whether it's going to be switchgrass or miscanthus. I haven't decided yet. I think I'm going to go along with miscanthus, get some rhizomes from my buddy over at Advanced Habitat Solutions, and we're going to go from there. But I want to create some diversity. I want some diversity in here with my screening, and on the north side it's going to be a good fit. Miscanthus on the south side, because our house is just over here, and I want to screen that off and give these deer a little bit more security as they're flowing through east and west on this part of our property. But simply, you know, I want to cut these off, these gray dogwood. So just cut them off at an angle like that. I don't know if you can see it real well, but you can see it's nice and green in here. Get it into a bucket of water here, and we're going to transplant these up along our north line fence. So we're up here, we're doing our continuation. I've got a gray dogwood right here, and we're extending it over into this little swale over here, and this is along our north property line. Fence up here is not our property line. It's actually down into the pasture here a little bit more. We're creating that border here. We're staying probably a couple yards off of the property line, but just to give that defined edge along our property line. But out here, where you see these taller weeds, you see it green down there in the bottom. We're going to be killing that off here in the next week or so here, and getting it ready. I think we're going to do some beans down here in the bottom, and then probably dirty bird up here on top. And then we've got a little part that goes downhill here. You can see it's fairly steep there. We're going to put that into clover just to hopefully help prevent that from washing out. I'm not going to dig it. I'm just going to broadcast my seed and then kill that. We've got some clover coming in this old pasture already. But down in where that little pinch point is, I want that to clover because I don't want that to wash. Like I said just a little bit ago, it's fairly steep there, as you can see, and I don't want that part washing out by tilling it up and we get a heavy rain or anything. But then up here in the flat, it's going to be some dirty bird. And then come next fall, or come August, we'll go up there, we'll mow out a little patch and probably have a little sidewalk of brassica through that dirty bird over near our stand location. Our stand location is that oak tree that's right there. So I'm excited about this setup, and I'm excited for what the future holds with it. We've plugged in a couple pear and apple trees near the stand location too, and we've had some good activity here in the past, and we hope to continue and capitalize on that activity here in 2024 and beyond. So we're going to get to work plugging these cuttings in. Ideally with these cuttings, I would like to have a rooting gel, a cloning gel, whatever you want to call it, that you can get on Amazon. I'll leave a link for it down below. I just don't have any right now, but I'm going to plug them in anyway. I've had success doing it, but I have greater success when I use that root cloning gel. So you want to check that out, and that's what I highly recommend. So again, I'll leave a link in the description below if you want to check that out and make a purchase on that. I'd greatly appreciate it. But this is what we're going to do here today, and we're going to be, like I said earlier in the video, I'm going to be popping out some red cedar that just doesn't need to be where it's at along our driveway, and bring it up in here into this taller weeds and stuff here in the pasture, and just kind of define that little edge, maybe create a little pocket in here. I mean, I know it's fairly steep here, but up here it's kind of level. If the deer want to lay up in here, they can. If not, it's no big deal. But over on this side over here, that's actually a little flatter plateau up in behind those cherry and box elder over there. And there's actually some nannyberry down in there. We're going to take some cuttings of that as well and create some screen with it. Makes an excellent screen, nannyberry does. And it's also a food source as far as browse and berries and everything too that the deer really love. So, but it's acted as a good screen. I had a stand over here in a cherry tree in this little island. In 2023, we saw deer out of it, set up right, but I want to bring them out here a lot closer, less impact coming in. I'll still have a stand location there for the right wind situation, because especially like a northeast wind and then settling, the air settling at night goes right down back to the house. So it's a great wind funnel as far as taking our wind, our scent back toward the house on that particular wind direction. But I want most of my activity to be closer to the house, closer to the driveway. Give the deer a little bit better security. So the point behind what I'm doing here is a lot of these things don't have to cost you anything. These are simply cuttings that are coming off of my property that I have already on the property. I'm just cutting them off, relocating them. This is gray dogwood. It can be done with red osier dogwood. What I find in my experience is red osier dogwood does better in the lower, wetter areas, and the gray dogwood up here where it's going to be a little drier. Now, I have very heavy clay soil here, so it retains the moisture very well. I wouldn't be doing this, like in sand ground, if I knew that there wasn't a significant rain coming, which fortunately we have coming. So I kind of have the best of both worlds going for me right now. I've got good heavy soil here. We've got an impending rain coming in this afternoon. Pretty significant rains from what I understand in the forecast. But you definitely, if you get into dry period and you're doing these types of cuttings, that's where root gel, Root cloning gel is very important, and getting out and watering them on a regular basis as well. If you get into a kind of a dry period, you're on lighter soil, sandier soil of any type. But I think it's going to work well here. We're planting numbers. You know, we're planting them very close together. We're planting them about 3 feet apart, so we get a good tight screen in here. Probably not going to get a lot of height out of this gray dogwood. I could, you know, 5 to 6 feet, but the goal is just to create edge. Not necessarily screening, but edge along this north line fence. So that's going to about wrap it up this morning. We got some cedar in. We got a couple little white pines in. We put in some black willow cuttings. We got some gray dogwood cuttings in. We didn't get to the nannyberry, but that can wait for another day. It's gonna rain here. I got some sick kids that I gotta tend to, at least one anyway. So we're gonna call it a morning for that and wait for the rain to roll in here later this morning. And it is what it is. Good luck with all your habitat projects coming up this spring. And hey, God bless you all. Keep living the dream. Thank you.